Ever wondered where our journey through the body begins? It starts right in the mouth. This is where the magic of digestion kicks off, transforming our food into energy and nutrients. Imagine a bustling factory where the workers are your teeth, chomping and grinding away. This process, known as mastication, breaks down the food into smaller, manageable pieces. Now enter saliva, the unsung hero of digestion. Produced by our salivary glands, it moistens the food, making it easier to swallow. But that's not all. Saliva also contains enzymes that kickstart the breakdown of food particles, particularly carbohydrates. So, next time you enjoy a meal, take a moment to appreciate the hard work going on in your mouth. From your teeth to your salivary glands, every component plays a crucial role in starting the digestive process. So, the mouth is our first checkpoint. Now let's move a little deeper into the body. After the mouth, our next stops are the pharynx and esophagus. Think of the pharynx as a crossroads of sorts. It's a critical junction that guides food from the mouth down into the esophagus. This is where the magic happens, as the food is propelled downwards through a process called peristalsis, a series of wave-like muscle contractions. Now let's move on to the esophagus, essentially a muscular tube that leads to the stomach. It's not just a passive conduit, it also plays an active role in transporting food. The muscular walls of the esophagus rhythmically contract and relax, continuing the process of peristalsis initiated in the pharynx. So, while we may not give much thought to these body parts, they're working tirelessly behind the scenes, ensuring that every bite of food we take makes it to its next destination. The pharynx and the esophagus, the perfect duo to transport our food. Now let's venture into the stomach. Welcome to the stomach, the body's own personal blender. This muscular organ, situated snugly between the esophagus and the small intestine, is a key player in the process of digestion. From the moment you swallow that first bite of food, your stomach is ready and waiting to break it down into a more manageable form for the body to absorb. Imagine the stomach like a sturdy, flexible bag. Its walls are lined with layers of muscle that contract and relax in a rhythmic dance, churning and grinding the food you've eaten. This isn't a gentle waltz though, it's more like a vigorous salsa. The stomach's strong muscular walls work tirelessly, squashing and squeezing your food to break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. But the stomach isn't doing this dance alone. It's got a partner in crime, gastric juice. This potent cocktail of digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid joins the party, further breaking down the food. The acid is so strong that it could even dissolve metal. But don't worry, the stomach has a protective lining of mucus to shield it from this corrosive substance. Together, the muscular contractions and gastric juices transform your food into a semi-liquid mixture. This soupy substance, known as chyme, may not sound particularly appetizing, but it's absolutely essential for the next stages of digestion. Chyme is gradually squirted into the small intestine where the real magic happens. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's take a moment to appreciate just how hard your stomach works. Every time you eat, it's there, ready to churn, grind, and mix, turning your food into a form your body can use. It's a tough job, but your stomach is more than up to the task. It's a real powerhouse, a master of transformation, turning a diverse range of foods into the nutrients your body needs to function. The stomach sure does have a tough job. Let's move on to the small intestine, where most of the magic happens. Next up on our journey is the small intestine, the longest part of the digestive tract. Imagine a 22-foot-long tube coiled up in your abdomen. That's your small intestine, a real marathon runner in the world of digestion. The small intestine is tasked with a crucial job, absorbing the nutrients from the food we eat. But it doesn't work alone. Meet the pancreas, the small intestine's sidekick, without which our journey would be incomplete. As food enters the small intestine, it's still pretty mushy from its journey through the stomach, but the real magic happens here. This is where the food is broken down into the tiniest of particles, so the body can absorb the nutrients. Picture a sponge soaking up water. That's essentially what the small intestine is doing with the nutrients from our food. Now, where does the pancreas come into play? Well, the pancreas is like a little factory, producing and releasing enzymes right into the small intestine. These enzymes are vital as they break down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Imagine them as tiny scissors, snipping these nutrients into microscopic sizes, small enough to pass through the walls of the small intestine and into the bloodstream. But that's not all the pancreas does. It also produces insulin. the hormone responsible for regulating the amount of sugar in our blood. So while the small intestine is busy absorbing nutrients, the pancreas is making sure that everything stays balanced, like a well-oiled machine. It's truly fascinating how these two organs work together. The small intestine, absorbing the nutrients, and the pancreas, breaking down the food and regulating our blood sugar. A perfect team, working in harmony to keep us healthy and well-nourished. And just like that, the nutrients from the food we ate are now part of us, giving us energy, helping us grow and keeping our cells functioning properly. The small intestine and pancreas, the ultimate team in nutrient absorption. Now, onto the large intestine. Now we've arrived at the colon and appendix. These are two fascinating areas of our body that play crucial roles in our overall health. Let's start with the colon, also known as the large intestine. It's a robust organ about 5 to 6 feet long, wrapping around the other organs like a frame. The colon's primary role is to absorb the remaining water from indigestible food matter. Sounds simple, right? But there's more to it. The colon also absorbs vital electrolytes like sodium and potassium, which are crucial for maintaining our body's fluid balance. Imagine the colon as a recycling center. It works tirelessly, day in and day out, to ensure that no valuable resources are wasted. As food passes through, the colon is constantly extracting and conserving water and electrolytes. This helps to solidify the waste material into the form we're all familiar with. Yes, we're talking about feces, but remember, it's all part of the natural process of digestion. Now let's talk about the appendix. It's a small pouch about 4 inches long, attached to the lower right side of the colon. For a long time, scientists believed the appendix was a vestigial organ, meaning it had lost its original function over the course of evolution. However, recent studies have shown that the appendix actually plays an important role in maintaining gut flora. Gut flora, or gut microbiota, refers to the community of microorganisms living in our intestines. These tiny creatures are incredibly important for our health. They help us digest certain types of food, produce vitamins, and even protect us against harmful bacteria. The appendix serves as a safe house for these beneficial bacteria, especially during illness when the rest of the gut can be cleared out. So, next time you think about your body, remember these two unsung heroes. The colon, tirelessly recycling water and electrolytes, and the appendix, safeguarding your gut flora. The colon and appendix, where water is reclaimed and gut health is maintained. Our journey is nearly complete. Finally, we've reached the end of our journey, the rectum. It may not be the most glamorous part of our anatomy, but it plays a critical role in our digestive system. Think of the rectum as the waiting room of the digestive system. It's here that the waste products of digestion, commonly known as feces, are stored until they can be expelled from the body. Just like any waiting room, the rectum is designed for short stays, typically only a few hours. The rectum is a stretchy tube, about 5 inches long in adults, and it's the final segment of our large intestine. It's lined with muscles and sensors that help to control the release of waste from our bodies. When it's empty, the walls of the rectum are pressed together, but as it fills, the walls expand and stretch. When the rectum is about half full, pressure builds, and signals are sent to the brain. This is your body's way of letting you know it's time to find a restroom. This urge to defecate comes from the coordinated interaction of the rectum, the anal sphincters, and the pelvic floor muscles. The process of expelling waste is a bit like a coordinated dance. 2 sphincters, or rings of muscle, control the exit from the rectum. The inner sphincter is involuntary, meaning it opens whether you want it to or not when the rectum is full. The outer sphincter is voluntary, meaning you can control when it opens. This allows us to choose the right time and place to go to the bathroom. And so with the opening of these sphincters and the contraction of the rectum, the waste material is expelled from the body, marking the final step in the digestive process. And there you have it, a complete journey through the digestive system. Who would have thought that such a complex process is happening inside our bodies every single day? So, what have we learned from our journey? We've embarked on an extraordinary voyage, from the mouth to the rectum, witnessing firsthand the intricate workings of our own bodies. We began with the mouth, our entry point, where food is transformed into manageable pieces, bathed in saliva. Following this, the pharynx and esophagus served as the grand highway, directing this nourishment towards the stomach. The stomach, a marvel of muscle and acid, churned and broke down our food even further. Then the small intestine and pancreas took the stage, absorbing essential nutrients and dispatching enzymes to aid digestion. We then navigated the winding channels of the colon and appendix, where water is absorbed and bacteria play a crucial role in our overall well-being. Finally, we reached the rectum, the final leg of this journey, where waste is stored until it's time for disposal. And that's the end of our journey. Remember, every bite you take sets off this remarkable journey through your body. Isn't that something to chew on?